Welcome to English Practice Every Day. In today's vocabulary practice video, we will learn these 10 advanced, meaning 7 English words and practice them using simple example sentences. Then we'll read aloud a short story that includes all 10 words in context to help you remember them better. Let's start. Please speak out loud with me as we practice. 1. Allude. Allude is a verb. As a verb, allude means to mention something in an indirect way. Allude means to mention something in an indirect way. The novel alludes to historical events. The novel alludes to historical events. The teacher alluded to the exam topics. The teacher alluded to the exam topics. Mia alluded to her childhood in the speech. Mia alluded to her childhood in the speech. Joe alluded to the problem without naming it. Joe alluded to the problem without naming it. 2. Garner. Garner is a verb. As a verb, garner means to collect or gather something useful. Garner means to collect or gather something useful. Jane garnered support for the project. Jane garnered support for the project. They garnered attention from the media. They garnered attention from the media. Sam garnered experience from many jobs. Sam garnered experience from many jobs. His speech garnered praise from everyone. His speech garnered praise from everyone. 3. Detract. Detract is a verb. As a verb, detract means to reduce the value or quality of something. Detract means to reduce the value or quality of something. A broken handle detracted from the gift. A broken handle detracted from the gift. His bad attitude detracts from his talent. His bad attitude detracts from his talent. The noise detracted from the experience. The noise detracted from the experience. The long delay detracted from the excitement. The long delay detracted from the excitement. 4. Revere. Revere is a verb. As a verb, revere means to deeply respect or admire. Revere means to deeply respect or admire. They revere their grandmother. They revere their grandmother. He was revered for his honesty. He was revered for his honesty. People revere ancient traditions. People revere ancient traditions. The students revered their professor. The students revered their professor. 5. Transient. Transient is an adjective. As an adjective, transient means lasting a short time or temporary. Transient means lasting a short time or temporary. The storm was transient. The storm was transient. Her job was only transient. Her job was only transient. They had a transient argument. They had a transient argument. Sunsets are transient but beautiful. Sunsets are transient but beautiful. 6. Feign. Feign is a verb. As a verb, feign means to pretend to feel something. Feign means to pretend to feel something. The child feigned sleep. The child feigned sleep. Jill feigned surprise at the news. Jill feigned surprise at the news. Ivy feigned illness to escape school. Ivy feigned illness to escape school. Mike feigned interest in the topic. Mike feigned interest in the topic. 7. Inhibit. Inhibit is a verb. As a verb, inhibit means to prevent or hold back from doing something. Inhibit means to prevent or hold back from doing something. Fear can inhibit progress. Fear can inhibit progress. The rules inhibit creativity. The rules inhibit creativity. Cold weather inhibits plant growth. Cold weather inhibits plant growth. Shyness inhibited her from speaking. Shyness inhibited her from speaking. 8. Recoil. Recoil is a verb. As a verb, recoil means to suddenly move back in fear or surprise. Recoil means to suddenly move back in fear or surprise. They recoiled in shock. They recoiled in shock. Sue recoiled from the loud sound. Sue recoiled from the loud sound. Ben recoiled at the sight of the snake. Ben recoiled at the sight of the snake. The dog recoiled when the door slammed. The dog recoiled when the door slammed. 9. Pivotal. Pivotal is an adjective. As an adjective, pivotal means very important or central to success. Pivotal means very important or central to success. Trust is pivotal in all relationships. Trust is pivotal in all relationships. That was a pivotal moment in history. That was a pivotal moment in history. The idea of freedom is pivotal to my life. The idea of freedom is pivotal to my life. Our decision was pivotal to the outcome. Our decision was pivotal to the outcome. 10. Relinquish. Relinquish is a verb. As a verb, relinquish means to give up or let go of something. Relinquish means to give up or let go of something. I had to relinquish my ticket. I had to relinquish my ticket. They refused to relinquish power. They refused to relinquish power. He relinquished control of the team. He relinquished control of the team. She relinquished her seat to the elderly man. She relinquished her seat to the elderly man. That's the end of the practice session. Now let's read aloud a short story using all these words in a proper context. Title of the story, The Turning Point. Elena stood at the museum gate. She looked around the quiet square. There were only a few people. No one looked at the old statue. She remembered when the statue was important. People used to stop and take photos. Tourists would listen to guides who alluded to its history. Now no one seemed to care. A large banner hung nearby. It was bright and colorful, but it didn't match the statue. Elena frowned. This banner detracts from the statue's meaning, she said quietly. She took out her notebook. She was writing an article. Her goal was to garner attention for forgotten places. She wanted people to revere history again. She walked around the square. She asked people questions. Some alluded to the statue's history. Others seemed unsure. Many locals didn't want to speak. Their fear seemed to inhibit them. One woman smiled but feigned interest. "Oh, the statue. I don't really know much," she said. But Elena saw her eyes. They told a different story. A man at a cafe looked nervous. "Things changed," he whispered. "We stopped talking about it." Then he quickly left. Elena sighed. People had relinquished the story. Maybe they were told to forget. Maybe they were just tired. That evening, a boy ran past the statue. A bird flew out from its base. The boy recoiled, then laughed. His laugh echoed through the square. It was a transient sound, but full of life. Elena smiled. There was still hope here. She walked back to the statue. She sat on the steps. A woman joined her. She was old but kind. "I remember the day they built this," the woman said. "It was a pivotal time for us." Elena listened. The woman spoke of peace after war. She spoke of leaders they once revered. She said, "We were proud, but then rules changed. People were told to stop asking questions." "Why?" Elena asked. "Some said the past caused pain, but forgetting it caused more," she answered. They sat in silence. Elena opened her notebook. She began to write again. She wrote about the statue. She wrote about silence. She wrote about memory. She wanted her words to garner attention. She wanted people to stop, to look, to remember. The next day, Elena visited the local school. She spoke to a teacher. "Can I talk to the students?" The teacher hesitated. "We don't usually talk about the statue." "Why not?" "I don't know. It just feels sensitive." History is not something to feign understanding of, Elena said. We must face it. The teacher nodded slowly. Maybe it's time. Elena met the students. She told them the story of the statue. She didn't just allude to it, she told it clearly. The students listened. One raised his hand. Why did people stop talking about it? Sometimes people are afraid, Elena said. Fear can inhibit truth, but truth always matters. The students clapped. Later, Elena stood again in front of the statue. This time, people were looking at it. A guide was telling its story. Elena smiled. She had not given up. She had not relinquished her purpose. Her article was shared widely. It had garnered thousands of views. People wrote letters. Some said thank you. Others shared their own memories. The mayor called her. You started something important, he said. This statue is pivotal to who we are. We forgot that. The banner was taken down. Flowers were placed at the statue's base. It was a small change, but it mattered. Elena looked up at the statue. It still stood strong. She whispered, I will always revere the truth. And then she walked away. End of story. That's all for this vocabulary practice session. Try incorporating these 10 words into your conversations this week to reinforce your learning. Bye for now.